What's up you guys, Anjola the Tree Queen here and welcome back to my channel. Now once again, I really do hope that during these critical horrible times that you guys and your guys' families are keeping safe, washing your hands or staying at home, and if not, I really do send all my positive vibes towards you in the hopes that everything will get better. Now let's move on to today's subject for today. Now of course we are still quarantining because the death toll is still going up every single day, despite the fact that, on the news, the government is saying like we should start relaxing on the 2-meter rule. Some of the fast food places are opening up and the shops are opening back up, which in my opinion makes no total and utter sense, since more and more people are dying every day. In fact, because more and more people are dying every day, they should be making the rules a lot harsher, because it's obvious that, the light quarantining we're doing isn't working. It is not proving effective. But then again, that is an argument for another day. But the subject for today, I'm actually going to be talking about the advantages and the disadvantages of social media. So let's start with the advantages. Now, of course, one advantage for social media is obviously connecting with other people through social media. Especially during these times where we're quarantining and we have to stay at home, you can connect with your friends and you can connect with your family and have a lot of fun through social media, because it does, give you that platform where you can, speak up about your opinion, or you can speak to other people. So that is one of the fun, little perks of social media. Then there's of course the education. You will be amazed by the amount of, amazing creators and the amazing, teachers you will find on social media. You can learn a lot of things from social media that you can, take and affect it into your life and use it like in your everyday life, just to make your life more interesting or to just add to your knowledge. So that is one of the perks of social media. Then of course there is the tremendous amount it does for your mental health, especially if you're going through a hard time and you're struggling with your mental health during quarantine. Talking to other people and seeing other people's creations, it can give you that certain amount of, personal happiness that could really it can give you like a very happy toll on your mental health. So again, that is one of the perks of social media. Then there's the news. You can learn about what's going on outside. You can get a lot of information about, how the modern day world is changing from social media, because, there are things like Sky News and all of that. That whole thing has social media, and they do like to post things on social media about what's going on in the world and the changes of the world and, what's going on. So again, that is one of the perks of social media. Then there is the business. You will be amazed to see how many social media moguls are on, social media. You can find them anywhere from Instagram to Snapchat to TikTok. They are all over, and they can really give you, facts about how you can create a living for yourself and earn lots of money for yourself. Like through social media, you can easily show off your creativity, all the personal traits and skills that you have. If you can showcase that and people feed off that and they like that and they love what you do, you can earn money. And of course you can earn the satisfaction of, helping other people and, making other people happy. I know personally, since I am a creator myself, that making you guys happy is one of the most satisfactory things I've ever experienced in my whole life, and I think you guys can learn a lot from that too. So as you can see, social media can be a very positive thing in your life, and it's not all doom and gloom. But I will be moving on to the disadvantages now, so brace yourself because it's about to take a depressing turn. So one of the disadvantages of social media that you really have to, look out for is of course addiction. There are lots of things on social media that can be attractive to especially the younger generation, and that is what can cause addiction. It can cause you to, stray from your normal routine, and it can cause you to not, be sleeping well, or, not to be talking to people. So that is one of the quite sad effects of social media. And especially it can be for the younger generation, because we are young, we're quite naive, we don't really know how to protect ourselves through these type of things. You really have to be careful with how you act on there and how much you use social media, because one of the things that are very important for the younger generation is to stay in school. If you want to create a living for yourself, you have to focus on your education. You have to study. So that's why addiction is one of those horrible things that you have to make sure you stray away from if you want to, make a living for yourself, if you want to strive for, higher levels in your academics. So that is one of the things that you have to make sure you stay careful about. Then there's, of course, is hacking. Again, we are quite the naive, younger generation. We don't really know how to protect ourselves. And sometimes for other people's pleasure, we put too much information about ourselves on social media, and that's why my advice is you can have fun on social media. You can look at other people's creations and use that as inspiration, but you do not have to actually write anything about yourself that is personal about yourself for other people's pleasure. If anybody's asking you, where do you live or where do you go to school, you have no obligation to tell any other people that, nobody that you don't trust, because, even if they have a name that you recognize, or they say, oh yeah, I'm a friend from school, if you have not, met this person face to face, if you do not know them personally, it is imperative that you make sure that you do not give them any of your information, because it can be quite dangerous. There are some horrible people out there who will feed off your information. I can put you in a lot of danger of, getting hurt or even worse, so you just have to be very careful with how you put your information out there. And privacy is always one thing you are obligated to when using social media. You must absolutely make sure that people are respecting your privacy, as you are only on social media for your own accord, for your own pleasure. You are not on social media for anybody's benefit, sister. So you have to be careful. Then, of course, there is cyberbullying. Once again, there are very unkind people out there who will, see what you're doing, see that you're striving, and see that you're, making other people happy and that you're making a living for yourself. And they will be mean to you, they will try and take down your confidence. And one of the things I always say is, if other people are talking about you and if other people are trying to bring down your confidence, then you're doing something right. All right. So you of course have the obligation to enjoy yourself on social media. Any of those haters out there, just ignore them. And if they are, being mean to you, and if they're crossing a line or crossing a boundary, there are also, the point that you could report them. You could report them to the social media platform, or get the account taken down, or the account blocked if you have proof of what they're saying to you, because I always say that I love all of you guys, and you guys are beautiful, beautiful people. So you have to make sure that no matter what, you do not change, because all of you have beautiful personalities. And there are other people who will try and take you down, mostly because of jealousy, or probably because they just don't like the fact that you're doing well. So you never pay attention to those haters out there, and you just do things that make you happy, because you're doing all of this stuff for you, for your own personal accord. So that is one of the things you have to watch out for. Then there's, of course, laziness, Again, that kind of relates to addiction. When you're using social media, there are some pretty, addictive things on there. There are stuff on there that could, take up your time, and it will make you stray away from your normal routine. And of course, especially the younger generation, you still have responsibilities other than social media. At home, there's things like chores and your education. So you have to make sure when you're using social media, you don't use it too much, so you do not become lazy, because nobody likes laziness. You always have to work hard. And the one thing that could, prove to your haters out there is that you work for everything on your own accord, and you work very hard for what you have. I know I have worked very hard to please you guys. I work hard every day to make sure that I get the right topics for you guys and that I make you guys happy. So, everything you've done, you have worked for, which is why laziness is one of the things that you can never, ever try and, become a daily thing or a normal thing for you to do. So do not be lazy, all right? Work for everything that you have. Then there is the fact that social media, once again, is addictive, and it can, stray you away from your family and your friends. Of course, it is an amazing thing to talk to people through social media, talk to your family and your friends. But if you do it too much and you don't try, meeting and talking to other people, in person, it can, ruin a lot of relationships. You could lose a lot of friends. So you have to make sure that you're not just, staying on social media and thinking, oh, if I can talk to my friends and family through social media, why do I have to talk to them in person? Because talking to people in person is like one of the most satisfying things that you can do. Again, it's a very good thing for your mental health, talking to a person face to face, especially a person you trust. If they understand you and they give you advice, it's always better in person. Of course, then there's, the fact that I love to hug my friends. I love to, be with my friends, go out with my friends. It's actually quite a good thing to do, especially during these times. If you can find, one day out of like a week or a month to just like go on a trip or something with your friends, it can do wonders for, your growth mentally and physically. So one of those things you have to pay attention to. Then, of course, this is one of the very, very sad sides, since we are quite a naive generation and there are people out there that can convince you to do dangerous things that could injure you or possibly cause death just for money. You always have to respect yourself. I think of my body as a temple and only I know what's best for it. So, you shouldn't let other people convince you to do things that are dangerous or things that you don't want to do, because trust me, honey, if people are trying to convince you to do things that you don't want to do, or they start saying, oh, you're not my friend because you don't want to do this for me, they are not your friend. So, have respect for yourself, have love for yourself, have love for your body, and just make sure that no matter what, you are doing things by your own accord. That is all for today. I really do hope that you take everything that I've said into consideration. Please like and subscribe and turn on the notification button so you can, get notifications when I post new videos. Please comment down below if you have any suggestions or questions about this topic or what you want me to do in the future. I love all of you guys. Please stay safe. Anjola the Tree Queen, out.